Power of the cloud. It's 10 Xboxes in the palm of your hand.
Welcome everybody to the Crossfire podcast. We are going to have a great show for you. It's great to be back. Let me take a minute and say what is up to everybody in the chat. What is up to a great panel we have here. We didn't have Crossfire last week. Everyone's like, Mooch, what are you doing taking time off? Who takes time off when it's a Friday night? It's how we start our weekend. Real quick, in the pre-show, we had shout out to Punk Kiddish who dropped an awesome just support in the super chat, and Wrathworld says showing support. Who's yelling? Wrath, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Did he hear us off the air?
They might have. They might have. That being said, we got so many hot topics to talk about tonight. Let me go right down this great panel. The one, the only. He's fired up. He's there all day. A crap gamer. Crap. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? You know what? Last week, this time, man, time flies. I was watching Mick Jagger strut across the stage, man.
I'm shocked he's still alive.
Dude, not only was he alive, but that man did not stop for 2 hours and 15 minutes running back and forth, dude. I never seen anything like it. I got tired watching him. I was like, good Lord. I got tired going up the steps.
Crap, the last time I saw them perform, which I didn't see them live, I saw them it was like the Super Bowl. I think it was 2007. That poor man looked like he was about to collapse.
Oh, man, he was going all around, man. A great show, man. Bucket list show right there, man.
Cocaine is a hell of a
drug.
Nah, man,
to me, too.
Nah, man, yeah. Mick's a big, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had a great time, Crap, but nonetheless, it's good to have you here. I appreciate that. I got my buddy Xbot448, who's going to be our defense lawyer for Xbox tonight. Xbot, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, everybody? I don't know about defense lawyer. I just call it how I see it. Of course, the way I see it is no doom and gloom, guys. Shout out to the huge crowd over there in the chat, all the Xbox gamers out there. It's good to see you guys. Let's get into it. It's Friday, man.
Absolutely, buddy. And we couldn't do Crossfire without the Italian one himself down in Florida. He's trying to make his way back to New York. Italian Clowns, how the hell are you doing tonight, Clowns?
Hey, I heard some good news. Florida might not be sinking once we get that 5G, so I can throw a lifeline to Crap Gamer over there.
I'd love it if you guys could tether something and make it work out. Whatever you got to do, Clowns, make it happen, please. $50. You got connections down there. I know that for sure.
Unions all the way. You know what I'm saying, Crap?
Yeah, reunions. Okay.
He's thinking 70s. That's the 1970s, Clowns. That's the 1970s. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then I got Noximus, my other buddy from New York. Nox, how the hell are you doing tonight?
Well, Mooch, it's another wonderful night over here in New York. It is it's nice and warm. It's nice and warm today.
Yes,
it is.
It's
It's just pretty good, pretty neat. Pretty good, pretty good battle time.
Pretty good, pretty neat.
Oh,
pretty good,
good
pretty
stuff,
neat. Let's
buddy.
get
It's gonna be a great show. Then I've got a special guest with us, Triple Cup Chuck, and he's up from GRG Podcast. Let me be honest with you, Triple Cup, me and you speak a lot in the DMs. We always bullshit. We talk games. This man knows what he's talking about. It's always a privilege to have you on the show. Welcome back again, Triple Cup. How you been?
Man, appreciate you for having me on here, man. It's your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm up. I'm ready to get this thing here started. Shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel, you know what I'm saying? Special shout out to Mooch for bringing me on here, you know what I'm saying? We're doing this on the muscle. And hey, Knox, when he did his intro, it reminded me of something like, say, hey, do you have a great poupon? No, what I'm saying? Made me feel like that commercial just passed me. Then a person told him no, and he just went crazy. Like, hey, Knox in this thing, man. Let's go ahead and go. Let's do this.
Awesome, Triple Cup. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Crap, I didn't put this on, and to all of you, I'm going to start with Crap Gamer because I know Crap was talking about it, and he actually talked to me this morning about it. I didn't put it on the topics list. Killer Instinct, right? So a big-time YouTuber went and made a video about it.
Dude.
Right? And it's gotten quite the attention, if you will. I think all the way up to Redmond. Crap, what was basically going on with this? Because I saw you look a little bit further into it than I did. Is this something that you think will, with this push, this new surges, get some kind of attention? Or no, they'll just kind of sweep it under the rug and who gives a shit?
It's not going to do anything. Phil doesn't care. You know that Microsoft isn't going to. We're never going to see a sequel to this game. Phil doesn't care. They listen. How many times have Xbox fans done something like this generation, right?
To Killer Instinct,
I mean, listen, not Killer Instinct, but other games, right? We've been asking for a Quantum Break 2, a Sunset 2, a Rise 2, I like this, though. Alan Wake 2. Yeah, I mean, listen, he doesn't care. I had 10,000 people sign a petition to get Sunset Overdrive 2 made. Nobody cares. No, they don't care. They're not listening to this stuff. If anything, Maximilian asked for it to maybe be ported to Switch. That's something I could see them doing. You know, so yeah, I mean, congrats on that if that happens, but I don't see how that helps Xbox fans. You know, the thing is, I don't think this game fits into his games as a service philosophy. And so, you know, I think it'd be hard to get it made. And you know, at the end of the day, this game was the reason I bought an Xbox One to begin with, to be honest with you. When I seen this game,
that's why when I saw this happen today, I said, you know what, this has got to really ring Crap's bell, because it was Killer Instinct wasn't that game for me. For me, it was more along those, you know, Dead Rising 3, Rise. Those really kind of grabbed me and captivated me into wanting to get an Xbox One day one, not just day one, minute one.
Yeah.
And for you, I know you had mentioned Killer Instinct.
When I saw that, I was sold, man. I was like, oh man, hell yeah, this is awesome. And the game didn't disappoint, man. Like, unlike most of the other games, that, you know, that like fighting games that have like, and I know the meta game is difficult for a lot of people, but I like the fact that I got, I think, almost 2,000 gamer score off Killer Instinct, just by playing through the game.
And
you know
that's
what I mean?
And it's a wait, was that easy mode though, Crap?
I don't know if there's an easy mode. I just play it on whatever the normal thing is. I'm pretty good at it. I haven't played online terribly a lot, but I did get a lot of practice. And I got to say, there's so much content there that's why I really enjoyed it. And I love that game, and I think it's great. And I think that it sucks that we'll probably never see a sequel to that or get another game.
That'd be foolish, though. That'd be foolish. They can't be that. And plus, that's a game that they can bank on like that. That's like a perfect Game Pass. That's like a Game Pass king.
Well, you know what, they announced 10 million. They announced 10 million users or whatever it was, right? A couple years ago.
Because the fighting system is deep and it's robust.
Oh, yeah, listen, it's a
dope game.
Here's the thing, Knox. Here's the thing. I hadn't consistently played a fighting game since like the Genesis days, right? Because I tried playing them on like the 360 and the hit detection and the lag and you know what I'm saying was really bad. And then when I played Killer Instinct, they really did it right. It's an amazing game. I would love a sequel. Don't get me wrong. I think a sequel would be great. The thing is, it's pretty clear from the reaction from the studio involved and stuff like that it's not even been a subject broached. You know, they're like, oh, we really support this. We would love to do one, but it's up to Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell it's just something that they haven't even considered.
I got to agree with you, Crap. And there's something you said that I really don't want to just brush by. I think it's the hot subject when it comes to this. It seems like if it doesn't fit games as a service, it doesn't necessarily get the attention it used to. Xbox, do you feel that way?
No, I'm gonna play.
I think that's a perfect games as a service game.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
I feel, guys, I hear what Crap's saying, and you know, Crap, just like everybody else, you know, has an opinion. But if you want another Killer Instinct, do not stop the wave that's going on right now. Tweet it out to Xbox.
They don't care.
Tweet it out to Phil Spencer. I think there is a chance here, especially with a fighting game like this. But the thing is, if it all comes to fruition, support the game. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there with your, you know, get up on your soapboxes like, oh, we need this sequel. And then all of a sudden, you know, you create something and the sequel comes out and you're like, well, you know what? That's not the fighting mechanic I really wanted. I'm gonna pass on this.
Fellas, can I ask you? Well, you can't say that, Bob, because if I don't like the fighting mechanics, I'm not fucking with it. But real quick though, because I've been living on the rock for the past few days. Yeah, I've been living on the rock for the past few days. So, is this like a thing that's happening? Like, where did this come from?
Maximilian is like a huge fighting game YouTuber.
Guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but let's take the question back a little bit further. Crap. One of the things that was discussed many times on podcasts for the pre-E3 shows when we were doing predictions, I think even you may have said it. You didn't say it was going to happen. You said it was on your wish list. You were saying we should be seeing a Killer Instinct 2. You know, season, you know, not season, but whatever they want to call the continuation. Yeah. And that was not even, I mean, it wasn't even breached. So, I mean, I think that's maybe why this Max guy went and made this video, and it's gotten some tremendous steam.
Hey, it was trending worldwide on Twitter yesterday. Like bring it back 3. Or whatever. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's huge. So I mean,
that just goes to show how the community in that game is that strong.
Yeah, I mean, look,
he worked on the story too for Killer Instinct on the first 3 seasons.
He did.
Yeah, he was doing input. That's why on his channel he said he wasn't doing too many reviews about Killer Instinct. Because, you know what I'm saying, people was asking him, like, why you don't do no games about Killer Instinct? And he was saying that they hired him on over there to, like, help out. Because, you know, he is, like, a big fighting person. So what Max was doing was he wasn't just writing it, but like he had an input. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to, you know what, and Triple Cup, Lone Star in the chat says, Max also worked on the intros and trailer for Killer Instinct. He also helped tweak the fighting. Listen, that's fine. That just shows the passion that this individual has. And listen, this is coming from, I've never hid this from anybody. I'm not a Killer Instinct fan. I don't care if a second one really comes about. Myself personally, I just think that one has a bit of nostalgia to it. And I think a lot of people want to kind of reminisce and say, you know what? Keep this alive. We saw Street Fighter V had a game this generation. Tekken's had a game this generation. Mortal Kombat's had a few this generation, right?
Dude,
why not give Killer Instinct that token?
You absolutely need that. That can be a tempo franchise. That's a fight. You need everything. You got the racer. You got the first-person shooter. You got the third-person shooter.
Now get the fighter.
Now you get the fighter. You gotta get it. You gotta get everything, bro. You gotta get that real-time strat.
That was one of the things that Phil said early on, that he wanted to enhance his portfolio in each area, and that's something that I don't think he's done to Q. Go ahead, Triple Cup.
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying, what Phil Spencer did, Crab was saying it offline earlier, and it just dawned on me, like, Phil said he owe us one with the whole situation with, what it was?
Street Fighter V.
Street Fighter V, right,
yeah.
Exactly. So what Phil should be doing, because I heard the talks about the people that made Killer Instinct and the people that made KI, they was real cool, where they could actually get together and network, and even if they don't make a MK versus KI, the people that made Mortal Kombat, they could come do the mechanics for Killer Instinct. Don't get me wrong. When Killer Instinct, I felt just like Crowd. When I first heard about Killer Instinct, I was like, man, I gotta give me an Xbox One. And then my cousin,
you don't want NetherRealm.
Yeah, you don't need NetherRealm even touching Killer Instinct's fighting system. That fighting system is unique and dope.
Let me tell you why. Look, I have a cousin. He a PlayStation dude. When I said, look, man, I got Killer Instinct. When he came over to play Killer Instinct, man, he was ready to trade his PlayStation in for an Xbox because he didn't even hear about it. So what Phil Spencer was doing is, the first thing is how he did with the other Killer Instinct, like Season 1, Season 2, Season 3. But they do, when I was saying about NetherRealm, if y'all play the difference between Killer Instinct, they got too much. It's a fun game, but they got too much of a button mashing element to it. I mean, you got to be a professional like Bam, man. Shout out to Bam, know what I'm saying? Killer Instinct God. Man.
Yeah, I don't play that game against Bam.
Sir X-Man, give it to Luca. He
says he did a auto finisher combo, everything in one. Dude did something. I was like, man, I don't know how. But yeah, see, a game like that, it just need a little bit more hand-to-hand combat, because everything is all about super.
I completely agree with you on that, Triple Cup. Go ahead.
Sir, hold on. Sir X-Man says Microsoft going to wait too long, lose the license to Killer Instinct. Is Sony's going to pick it up and make the game? Them or Nintendo? Well, no. Listen, Microsoft owns it because it's a rare IP. So Microsoft owns it. One of the things that I will say is, I think a lot of people were asking for like a new Killer Instinct that actually brings something new to the table. Like there's a lot of characters, like what they did with like General Rom and some of the other characters that they brought in. There's a lot of Microsoft IP that you could do, that you could bring into there. The other thing is Killer Instinct has trended before over the last couple of years, where the creator of Mortal Kombat, what's his name, Mooch?
Ed Boon.
Ed Boon has mentioned multiple times he would love to get a Mortal Kombat character on there, right? If they were to do a sequel.
Absolutely.
And people were trending and asking Phil, and Phil's like, yeah, we'd love that. And then nothing, right? Like I'm saying, man, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense to Phil Money Man Spencer.
I mean, they could do seasons of it like they did the first time.
I would love that. I would love that.
But what I'm saying is, instead of automatically just being negative about the situation, let the wave get bigger. Put more pressure on them and see what happens.
I don't want to see the thing. I don't want to see people.
Sucks. Give it back to Rare. Iron Galaxy is terrible.
No, man, it was a great game. Anyway, hold on. Let me say this. Well, I don't want people to get overly excited or get their hopes up for this though. But that's my thing. Like, sure, be cautiously optimistic.
People hyped up over an interactive movie on.
Hey, man, but that game's great, dude. I'm telling you, you play the game and. It is. It's a game. Anything's a game, man.
You got to be careful with that, Xbox, because to be honest with you, don't get me wrong. Earlier in the generation, we kind of went through these kinds of debates, and to be honest with you, we sat there through the generation.
Netflix got TV shows like that.
type of quote-unquote game.
It's not, though. Look, Netflix thing is like, oh, you push a button at this particular point to go take the story one way or the other. Until dawn, you're actually moving around.
Listen, I like Trials Rising, where you literally press 2 buttons and do the same course 75,000 times. Like, right? Some people would call that not really a game either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a Plague's Tale. It's like a Plague's Tale. It's a puzzler game. You know what I'm saying? It's still a game, though. You know what I mean?
Still a game, yeah. And there's different endings. There's different outcomes to things like Detroit.
Yeah, I feel like this generation, people's eyes got glossed over shiny graphics above all else, man. That's what I think.
I'm gonna try and
I don't know.
That's what. Yeah, I'm always gonna share my honest opinion with you guys, whether you like it or not, man.
Of course, absolutely, people are gonna be drawn in by the fine visuals, but fine visuals with excellent gameplay makes a definitive product, and that is what people are drawn to more than anything else, my dude. You might not like it because it doesn't suit your needs. Maybe you like that cartoon shit, right? And that's cool. My dude, like, I'm not knocking it.
I love how he said cartoon shit.
That's true.
That's cool.
No, I love me some Cuphead. To me, Cuphead is one of my favorite freaking games this generation, to be honest with you. And not just because, like, Microsoft doesn't have many offerings. You playing
Cuphead. I can picture you.
I'm up to the last boss, and oh yeah, I cursed like a motherfucker. But I enjoyed that shit though. Like that, it was very reminiscent of that old school hard gameplay that I grew up on.
There's no way we can ever bring.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. When it comes to killer,
many games of that genre don't captivate the audience like Cuphead can, and that's the whole thing. The Oris and the Cupheads are very far and few in between.
Well, check this out. Bringing it back to like the whole Killer Instinct thing. One of the things that we didn't really have before when we were talking about sequels and stuff like that is somebody so predominant out there in terms of social media and in content creation, being on YouTube. Maximilian Dude is absolutely huge out there. All right, on YouTube. Yeah, I know. I know Mooch said he never heard of the guy or whatever, but I
hadn't heard of him, but that's got nothing to do with it. He's got a huge channel.
That's how he got in.
I haven't heard of him.
That's how he got in with like helping with Killer Instinct and stuff
awesome.
like that. So that's something that you don't have, kind of like spearheading any other wave that might have happened. So I'm interested to see if gamers kind of back this up and keep the pressure on. What will happen?
I do. Yeah. Yes, gamers are gonna do it. Me, Crap, the hardcore gamer, the same dudes that been backing up the hardcore shit.
Yeah, I bought both the Ultimate Editions of those, season 1 and 2.
And Microsoft will be foolish, bro. They'll be. I mean, I just can't. I cannot reiterate the shit enough. It'll be foolish of them to not continue with Killer Instinct. They'll be just dumb.
You add fighting arenas. You add a way to like they had in Killer Instinct where you can earn gear and stuff like that. If you want to pay for the gear, you can. There's a microtransaction window there that doesn't deal with anything in terms of a pay to win or anything like that. You can add content. You can add characters.
Offer the SKUs. That's how you do it. That's how Microsoft needs to do it. You offer the SKUs. You give Killer Instinct 2 with all the bells and whistles for the $65 package. You want it on Game Pass, you get it on Game Pass, but you're going to have to, we're going to nickel and dime you.
What about
I mean, if they want to G dudes that way, go ahead. Just stop. What guys need to realize, we can't continue to sit here and keep just like saying, oh, Microsoft doesn't do this, doesn't do that. We know they don't. We know they haven't. We know they aren't right now. What we do need to focus on and look at is their direction going forward and what they want to offer you going forward and how you're going to approach it through that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that's what's happening. And if they want to be smart about it, like Mooch has said it, Crap has said it, putting your first party titles in Game Pass day and date to me devalues the title. And if you are going to do it, give an incentive to still do that and give the illusion, right? You give an incentive to buy the $65 joint. You buy the $65, you get this. You want it on Game Pass, you subscribe to Game Pass.
Yeah.
But you get the bare bones, and we'll nickel and dime you for everything else. You want that skin pack?
That's how they do it.
That's how they should do it, but they don't. They're not doing that. They're not doing
that's
that
not
right
how
now.
they're doing it. Triple
They're
Cup.
not. That's not how they're doing it right now.
I
Triple
mean, I thought you get the
just,
bare game as in Game Pass.
I'm saying that
or the extras, you would just pay for the extras. You don't have to just purchase the game.
Guys gotta understand out there that no one wants to sit here on our podcast and just, seem like we're just kicking Microsoft's fucking head in.
I hate it, to be honest with you. It sucks.
No,
it's like,
absolutely it does. But if we don't speak about what we want to make things better, they're not going to get better. You can't sit there and go, yeah.
Well, I think, Crap, you said this too, and Nax, I think you guys were saying this last week. I mean, we're at a point right now where that's the path they're going. And
I think it's a really weird argument that you would be like, you know what? All the bells and whistles for $65 and then bare bones on a subscription. If you're a gamer, all right, and you're paying $10 like a month, if they're giving you the premium game,
but they're not.
You're winning.
But they're not
winning there.
But that's only
like I don't understand why you're like it would be better if
because Xbox, it's an illusion that will subside, that will stop. The quality will diminish and become double.
But I haven't.
It's just economics. It's economics.
It will. Signs of any diminishment. Since I had Game Pass, man.
Hey, what about if they just
not now because they're trying to make it succeed. They're trying to make it succeed right now.
Like Triple Cup, what do you say? Triple Cup, if you can, a lot of people in the chat are saying they can barely hear you, so just maybe you speak up or get closer to the mic.
Hey, what about now?
That's better. There you are.
All right. Yeah, what I was saying was seasons. Like, you can get some seasons together, and then, like, with Killer Instinct, I mean, everybody talking about a new reboot. I mean, me, I'm a Killer Instinct fan. I would love that, too. I've been saying it. I want to see this here, and I want to do it with NetherRealm. But if push come to shove, like, everybody keeps saying Game Pass, subscriptions. The best thing to go with subscriptions is seasons. Killer Instinct will be a king of seasons. This season here, you get these lists of characters. Oh, next season, they're going to rotate to this list of characters. Oh, you don't want these characters right here? You could purchase all the characters over here. Or you could just get the rotating list every month.
Thank you. Yeah. Because that's what I was saying. That's the perfect game for a Game Pass. That is a Game Pass. If you want to stretch it, that's how you stretch it. That's what will make Game Pass worthwhile. You put a quality fighting game in there, and you give me something new. Put a sports title in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put a baseball game in there. Put a football game. Bring 2K back or something to compete against John Madden. Do that. Those are perfect subscription services like Game Pass.
Joe DiGiorgio in the chat, he says a really good point. He goes, if quality diminishes, then we all just cancel our subscriptions. That's where I'm at, Joe. I think a lot of people right now, whenever you have any kind of conversation on Game Pass, everyone's like, well, we all have it. It's $1. I mean, it's not going to be $1 forever. It's just not. So once it's not $1, that's when
it's $20.
Yeah, it's going to be $14.99, $20.
Well, no, it's already $14.99 for Ultimate. I'm talking $19.99. Yeah. Hell, look, Netflix just went up to, what is it, like $16, $17?
That's what I'm saying. And that was $8.99 when it first started. If you said to anybody back then when it was $8.99 to stream, that was going to be $16, people were like, get out of here, Mooch. You don't know what you're talking about, man. It's true, though. This is going to go up. They're doing this to get everybody used to having a plethora of games. Right now, you have a library of 200 games where some people had 0, 1, 2, or 3 games before they got into this. So when your subscription runs out, you might turn around and go, maybe I don't want to pay $14.99 a month. But then again, I don't want to lose 200 games come tomorrow when it expires. So, I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I do want to kind of get into something else. Somebody in the chat was really funny. You guys still talking about Killer Instinct? No, we're not.
Of course we are.
No, we're moving on.
Considering that wasn't even the topic, but that
wasn't. But
you know what? I don't think it's a topic either. Spider-Man becoming the best-selling superhero game of all time.
That was last week's news.
Yeah, but nobody talked about it because there was
no one did talk about it.
There was no Crossfire, and we didn't talk about it on Xbox Nation.
Next podcast because we did.
I usually don't listen to that till later on when I'm traveling to work, but. I didn't get.
That is a good point.
Yeah, we didn't really get to talk about it, which was something I even forgot to put in my topics list, which was very funny because, while there was a lot of contingent of people saying exclusives don't matter, and then you had this game being an exclusive sell like way more on one platform than the multi-plat superhero games did on like 5 platforms. So like to me, that kind of validates what I've been saying is that you've got to get some quality content out there, and Snake Oil Phil has got to do a better job of getting that. And he says it like he did this new interview, and I'm sure that all your favorite YouTubers are going to be talking about it and spinning it greatly, which I think is fine because I would have done that years, a year ago too. Phil Spencer.
Who's your favorite YouTuber, Crap?
My favorite YouTuber is Mooch.
Oh, damn
Thank you.
It's just,
You're mine too, Crap. It's great.
I tried to set it up, Crap. I tried to set it up. Man.
What a great answer.
Well,
I
listen,
almost want to end the show now.
listen, you gotta. It's the Lennon McCartney mechanic, man. It just is what it is. I said a long time ago, Mooch is the best talker I know. He could sell anyone anything. So actually, maybe we need to get Mooch in a room with Phil to get him to sell things on, Xbox.
Crap. They are hiring now something in marketing for Halo.
I did see that. I almost tweeted it out, but I was like, that's too easy of a joke. People expect it. Right. They absolutely don't have any marketing. But yeah, listen, I think that it'd be like I'm playing through Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Shout out to WR Cup. He hooked you and me both up with that game, right? It's a lot of fun. It's an exclusive, like Nintendo dropped 2 big exclusives in the summer this month, right? That's huge. And Mario Maker 2. That's fantastic. Days Gone is now the 7th best-selling game in the US in the entire year.
That's amazing, actually.
Like, that just goes to show you. And again, like, people damage control Days Gone, but Mooch, you put what, 35, 40 hours into it? I put like 35, 40 hours in it.
Are you talking about Days Gone?
Yeah, Days Gone.
I've got to have over 50 now easily. I have not stopped playing it.
So
he doesn't count on that. He's a zombie fanatic.
But listen. It's not just that. Here's the thing, and this is something that Sony should be blamed for. They shipped out the game before they shipped out the patch, the day 1 patch. So when reviewers are playing the game, it was broken. Like there's no way around it, and that's bad on Sony. They messed up. But the day that it launched, they updated it, and then they updated it every day for like the following like 7 days in a row. That game plays unbelievably well, smooth, good, open world goodness. That is a very inventive IP, and I'm glad that people gave it a chance because probably the sequel will be 10 times better now.
But I got a different opinion why that's the #1 game in the world.
What do you got?
Well, superhero. I mean, at the precise moment, it's all about timing and promotion. I mean, it wasn't Sony promotion; it was actually Marvel promoting this game because they trying to open up their gaming division, and this was their really first big adventure into the game, and so they wanted to be a success to go along with the Marvel movies that they have that's going out right now. Same thing they're doing with the toys and the accessories, because that's where all the money is at, not just the movies, all about the necessities. So that's why with the whole deal with Sony with the Spider-Man to get them to the MCU, they had this opposite deal. So Marvel had creativity of that. Sony should not get no credit for this game because they just pointed to a Zombiac for them to make the game, and they were saying because of the stipulations, it had to be a Sony exclusive.
I think part of your case there holds water, Triple Cup. I do think a little bit has to go to Sony's credit as well, but I think that whole getting wrapped up in the whole Marvel universe definitely pushed the sales there. But Batman has had its fair share of
let me point this out: the Nolan, the Chris Nolan Batman games.
The franchise, the #1 movie of all time right now is Avengers. Came out right by Spider-Man, the video game.
Well, listen, I get that, but check this out: those Nolan Batman movies were coming out at the same time as the Batman Arkham games,
right?
So I
assume roughly around the same time.
And not only that, but check this out: Arkham Asylum and Arkham City were both on Xbox 360, PS3, Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and they came out with Game of the Year editions on Xbox 360. So they had so many re-releases of that game. It's just surprising to me that Spider-Man did so. And props to them, man. I really think that's a solid game. I like the Batman games too. I think the Batman games are good. Yeah, listen, I'm surprised we didn't get more, right? Like what always kind of surprised me is
Xbox need a Marvel
Exactly. Why
America, Xbox, give us something like
Why is it
not just that? You had a company in their pocket here, Crap. They have a very good relationship with EA, okay? They could have went up to BioWare and they could have worked with the mechanics. Everything that they've built basically for Anthem that was a failure would work fantastic for Iron Man. And you do an Iron Man licensed game on Xbox and watch that damn thing fly off the shelf.
Like a beast. Like
you can't tell me, everybody in this panel, I don't care if you played it for a minute or you played it for 15 hours. You've played Anthem, and there's no way the mechanics when you're in that suit don't feel like Iron Man.
My dude, if that game wouldn't have been open world, if it wouldn't have been open world, then it would have just been a linear game based on Iron Man with those mechanics and what they could have done with those resources.
Unbelievable.
It would have been phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm so sore about Anthem because I like it.
Yes, me too. Me too, clowns. I was just talking about it.
I still like the game.
Hey, well, let me say this, right? So I know a lot of you guys crap on VR, but this Iron Man VR game looks pretty solid to me. Open world VR as Iron Man, that's pretty cool. And then I also see, obviously Spider-Man is doing good. And then it looks like Ultimate Alliance 3 is doing phenomenally well for Nintendo. So with that being said, I mean, why hasn't Microsoft gone and did anything like this? With these being so popular, wouldn't it be an easy win for them to go and get a game exclusive to Xbox?
Why not?
That's what I'm saying. It makes a lot of sense to do that. It's an easy win.
But here's the thing, crap, and I think you see it on a video, and I think it's worthy of bringing up. Okay, you've got Nintendo that went out and they're doing the Bayonetta 3 exclusive game. They've got the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That's an exclusive game. You've got Sony that went and signed I know they have the rights to Spider-Man, so that was a little bit of an easier play for them. But nonetheless, that's something that they had. It's exclusive. They went and got Bloodborne. I mean, my point is that Phil came out a while ago.
Well,
and he
basically, the whole reason why Spider-Man was exclusive to PlayStation is because of the dealings between the MCU and Sony. That was the main reason why Spider-Man was an exclusive.
Yes, because Sony has the license.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you a
Oh.
question though, Xbot. The reason that doesn't hold all the waters. Remember the Amazing Spider-Man that came out earlier this generation? Sony had the same licensing and same agreements then, and it was on Xbox. So I don't know if that necessarily holds water.
Hey, Xbox fans were like, we don't even need the Insomniac game. We'll just go back and play this one.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Right. And, I do want to kind of transition to
everyone liked the video shared out, man. I didn't get no notifications.
Oh, shoot. I forgot to do that as well.
Yeah,
that means a lot of people probably didn't get notified.
No,
so, yeah,
I don't think anybody did. And I made the chat room earlier. I don't know what's going on. No, I know you did. I meant as far as notifications going out. I don't know why. Guys, Crap did mention this a week or two ago. He did a little research. You have to actually hit the bell while you're here on the channel. And you also have, there's two things, right? So it's like a dual, what is it, Crap? They have to hit the bell and they also have to.
You have to have your notifications from YouTube turned on.
So yeah. It's kind of a twofer.
The analytics on YouTube.
Make sure ain't no back.
Yeah, the analytics on YouTube, they really go into like the percentage of subscribers that actually get notified.
Right.
Like mine were horrifyingly low. Like nobody's even get notified. So it's like 8% or something. Like it's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like if somebody subscribes to you, they should get a notification. It's always weird to me that they would kind of bog down.
You think that would capitalize and be good for YouTube as well?
Yes.
I mean, it's ever evolving chain that should always kind of work together.
But that's because Google's trying to do that with their phones, right? Because probably YouTube is notifying your account, you know what I'm saying? But your phone, your Google phone per se, isn't notifying you, and that's the notification that they're concerned about because they want all that shit synonymous. They want all of it linked. They want to be able to track all of that stuff. So that's what it is too with that notification stuff with YouTube and your Google account.
Shout out to One Typical Latino. He says, "Hey Mooch, here's some support. Thank you guys. The super chat is working. That's fantastic. And Mooch doesn't. I didn't get the new Wolfenstein game. So if anyone's feeling, pardon me, maybe that's why I didn't get it. I was looking up the wrong word. But yeah, I didn't. Right? I didn't
some kind of co-op thing, right?
Yeah. If there's anyone who's got an extra code, go ahead and feel free to hit me up in the Mooch DMs there. That being said, guys, Crap, I have it in the title here. This is kind of a big deal. Crossplay, right? I mean, this is still being discussed throughout Twitter. I believe that the exact same tech test that's going on this week. And guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't gotten a chance. I got home from work, didn't really get a chance to strike up Gears. I'm going to play some more Gears tech test this weekend. But I believe it's the same one as last weekend. But now everybody with Xbox Live Gold can play and participate, where last week was just people who had the Ultimate or pre-ordered the game. So I believe, and tell me if I'm wrong here, Xbox, I know you took a look at it. It's the same game modes, right?
Yeah, you got arcade versus and ranked, and I thought they were going to change it up this week. So quite possibly next weekend, because I know they're going to be doing this for a few weekends in a row, and I can swear I saw that they're going to be changing up the modes, because I am looking forward to a point in time where they put horde mode in for the tech test. That's when I'm really going to get into it.
They're not changing shit.
What? No, they're not.
I swear they said it, man.
They're not changing shit. It's the same shit. I played it already. It's the same. It's boot camp and versus, and the arcade mode and the ranked, and then the ranked has King of the Hill and escalation.
Xbox, what did you think was going to change?
Because they have I think at some point down the road we're gonna get our hands on a demo of the Horde mode.
Yes, I believe that is coming. Yes,
a demo of Escape as well.
Okay.
Which
yes,
I'm actually interested in that. Unfortunately, they showed it in kind of like the worst way at E3, but with Escape mode, not only do they have maps that they made, but we can actually go in and create our own and put our own bosses in at the end. And
hey, Lone Star brings up a good question. He says that any of the higher ups at Microsoft commented on the PC versus console debacle in Gears 5. I don't want to play against mouse and keyboard. AP Cool J says no crossplay with PC if you don't want it, which isn't true. You can only turn off crossplay in ranked. Any of the arcade or anything else, you're forced to play with PC gamers. And not only that, Xbox One X can get up to over 100 millisecond of lag in the input.
I saw that.
Yeah, in the input. So you are at a huge disadvantage in the other game modes, especially going against PC mouse and keyboard. So yeah, and the FOV sliders that they're allowed to use as well. It's a huge problem. I've been tweeting to Rod and Mike and the head of the of Gears online every day. They don't respond. Their world is this world where they want everybody just joyfully playing together, but it doesn't really work that way in competitive games, in my opinion. So it's a shame that they're preaching all these options and refuse to give people the basic option. Even when Sea of Thieves, people have been crying for a Sea of Thieves option to turn that off since that game launched. And
what's going on here, Crab? We talked about it last week on Xbox Nation.
The Sea of Thieves thing
is there an on-off now, or is it a kind? It's still not.
It's
fuzzy.
Kind of like it's kind of like if they'll still match you with PC players in certain instances. So it's not even a real on-off thing, right? They don't want you not to play with. They just want you to forget it, because in their world where console sales don't matter, they want everybody to play against everybody, regardless of your input device and regardless of an advantage or disadvantage that you might have, which kind of goes against everything Xbox Live was all about to begin with, in my opinion. So it is a bit of a shame that they're not taking that more seriously.
Hey, Crap, I'm on board with you too, homie. I'm on board because I used to be one that campaigned, let's do crossplay, but I wanted to do crossplay with PlayStation as well. You know, I wanted like when Madden tournaments and, you know, a whole big community. But when I got to playing Sea of Thieves, and let's say the mouse and keyboard is bad enough already, but, you know, I feel like I'm the best person in the world. I can get around that. But when people use PC, they got a problem with cheating. I mean, I don't know what it is about PC. They get enjoyment off of being invincible. I don't like that.
Hey, me and Mooch and Clowns. That happened to us with Sea of Thieves, man. We were playing it. Next thing you know, you can't sink a boat. They drop our anchor from a million miles away. They're invincible. Like, it takes the fun out of the game. And what makes them think that this won't happen on a multiplayer game, right? Like the people that are doing this,
PC gamers is not the same. I'm sorry,
it isn't. And the sad thing is Microsoft are late to the party with realizing this with what they're trying to do. It's ridiculous.
Or they just completely turn a blind eye, which it feels like sometimes. But there's already cheat groups working on Gears 5 too. So this is terrible.
Yeah, no,
we got cheating Gears 5, and it ain't much out. They just showing a tech demo.
Say again, Triple Cup. I didn't hear you.
No, I was saying he was saying they had somebody cheating in Gears 5 and it's just a tech demo.
No. The groups that did the Sea of Thieves hacks and publicly posted all their hacks online for everybody, they're working on Gears 5 already.
So basically, so those that don't know, when we brought up that there were people cheating, PC players cheating on Sea of Thieves, Rare never even really acknowledged it for a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they actually banned and blocked the threads on Sea of Thieves forums when people talked about it.
Yeah, no, it's true. Wow. I'll be honest with you, I just think that like the problem here is that we've kind of made a joke of it over the years. And Crap, I'll say a shout out to Bust the Movie 89. He says, Crap, can we get a forced to play cross-play blues with the harmonica? So maybe you can do that one. Right? Forced to play cross-play blues. Yeah, so you go ahead and do that. I've learned a new talent. I've been able to podcast over the harmonica. It's taken about 2 months, but it's a work in progress. But nonetheless, we've been saying that this is a generation of options, right? It's the generation of options. Why is it that they're not giving us the option here? I frankly, myself personally, I've run into the issues that Crap's saying with a Sea of Thieves, but I haven't run into them necessarily with Gears 5's tech test yet.
I was getting picked off a mile away.
You're not the only one, Crap. Other people are also claiming what you're saying as well. Shout out real quick to Gamer O'Malley, who says falling Xbox sales is why Xbox started pushing the Xbox XP with PlayStation. I think he means crossplay. They knew they had to lean on PC to populate servers, and that would piss off Xbox players. I mean, we've been saying that they need the player pool to have, well, players in the pool. So what they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and leave that open. But see, myself personally, I think there's another step here. Even if somebody at Xbox was to say, Mooch, we have to do this for this certain reason, I'd say that's fine. But why is it default on? It should be default off. Because that's the original way the games were made, where you're playing just against console folks. If you want to open it up, that's fine, but leave the default off, Xbox, right? I'll give you the mic, and then you can switch it on if you don't mind.
No, I hear what you're saying, and you guys know I've been in the same boat with crap when it comes to crossplay. We all know my favorite gaming franchise is coming out next year, and I am watching what they're doing with Gears because I know they're pretty much probably going to mirror it when it comes to Halo Infinite. Now, as far as being it like off on default, like they are promoting the Xbox platform in multiple areas. So I don't think of it as such a big deal that it's default on, but I do agree with Crap that we have to have more options on being able to shut crossplay off on more than just rank. Now, when it comes to Halo, when it comes out, yes, I spend most of my time in competitive arena, getting my rank, all that good stuff. But I do also play like Warzone Firefight. Warzone in and of itself is a huge, like, PvPvE type situation.
Right.
All right. And even though it's not necessarily ranked or anything like that, there were special weapons that you can only use in Warzone. So I don't want to be hampered because I have a controller and I'm trying to use that brand new sniper that I got, but somebody on the other team has.
But I'm shocked, Xbox. You know what? I got to take a step further though, and you're right. Your case holds water. But Crap's been doing tweets out to the heads of Microsoft Xbox team, and there's other people that have been doing it, and there's just radio silence, and sometimes silence can be deafening. I just the fact that they're not coming on social media, they're not even speaking to it. That's one of the things that is alarming to me. It's almost like they're saying, we hear you, but we really don't care what we hear.
They don't.
That's fine.
They don't care much because that's not their agenda. Bot is on the right track. They want to promote this whole all-inclusive, all-in-one type of deal. So by default, they're going to have it off. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to have it on they're going to have it on because they want everybody to be playing together. Listen, I got in a rank match today. I must say it was the very first time I queued up and boom, I actually got in. And I'm like, all right, I got my ass smoked, kid. Handed to me, bro. And the way they would,
you should have given the controller to Lady Knox, man. She would have went in crazy, man.
Shit, not even, my dude. The way they were turning on a dime, the way they look like real tanks. They call it kind of tank controls, right?
Yes.
They look like real tanks, just turning on a dime, bang, with the accuracy that it's ridiculous. I'm like, oh shit. And then it occurred to me, oh shit, I didn't turn the PC shit off. It's on by default, and those were PC players. Like it was stupid. I got a couple of kills. Don't get me wrong. I got.
I got mine. But
yeah, bro.
Let me ask this.
I got my ass handed to me. Bro.
Triple Cup, you were playing last week, were you not? The Gears Tech test.
I mean, I put it on, but I'm more of with Gears. I'm more of the story. I want to know about the story.
So you know what? Then I'm glad you kind of segued that, Triple Cup. I feel you with that. What's your take? Because we haven't had you on the show since this kind of broke. What's your take with not knowing anything about the campaign until let's just say the day that the campaign gets released?
I mean, kind of, sort of, but they gave enough clues where you could kind of see where the story going. Kate, that's her name, Kate, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, Kate. No,
we'll also accept hashtag Who's James.
Yeah. She's supposed to, she's gonna be the antagonist, and at the end, it's that light versus dark situation with her mama and stuff like that. So she's
Anakin Skywalker. Yes.
Yeah. So she in love with JD. So I can see where the story going, and I just want to see the extra stuff where they were scared to do in the last Gears because they wanted to say, "Hey, look, we could make a good Gears game. Now we finna go crazy. We finna open it up. I don't want them to put that in there just obvious and that simple. They got to do something that's totally left field, even if it's time travel. You know what I'm saying? Do something different that Gears never done before. That's what I'm looking for in the campaign.
Damn, time travel. That would be insane.
It would be insane, and I like where Triple Cup's going with that. But Triple Cup, let me say this much to you. I'm not saying reveal so much of the story. I'm talking about just seeing some of the gameplay. We don't even know. Like, we all felt that Gears 4 was very good, pardon me, but very safe. And now we want to see, like, you know, what is that one? And pardon me for not ever remembering it, but that basically that ice luge thing that you'll be like the skiff or whatever it is. To be able to take that and kind of branch off in the Gears world and venture left, venture right, go down this path and take some maybe side quests on, things like that Gears never presented before. That to me is the new hotness, right?
Like when they make you which direction you want to go, and you can go to 2 real directions on.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I want to see. I want to see this thing expand. I want them to take something that's been extremely linear. And listen, you might go, well, Mooch, come on. There's other games like Uncharted 4, for example, right? They didn't really go that monstrous expansion route, but they had that one area there where you hopped in the Jeep and you can kind of go left and do a couple things over here. It was a big open area, and that was new for Uncharted.
Their linear areas are spacious enough where it creates the illusion that it's an open world when it really isn't, which offers the best of both worlds. Yeah. To me, anyway, it gives you just enough room. Everything doesn't have to be this gigantic. Like, look at Destiny, right? Destiny does it very well,
right,
with their open worlds. It's not an open world. Those shits are linear as fuck. They're all maps, but it's all different little segments of the map that they use to create the different, levels of the game. And then when you jump into the planet, you are free to explore.
I like how you're going with that, Knox. It gives that like misconception. Like everyone, Destiny's this big open. No, it's not. Knox is right. It's as linear gets, even though there's open areas.
Yeah. They're huge.
Right?
Yep. They give
you know what? Shout out to the Don who's in the chat. The Don made a great point. Let me just see how this resonates with Crap and with Xbot. The Don says the biggest problem with crossplay is everyone thinks I am on a PC. That's interesting. And maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe I'm reading into it wrong. But what I think it is there, hear me out, Xbot. What I think he means, and Don, tell me if I'm interpreting you correctly, is the fact that it's open and it's there and you can't shut it off, it gives people the interpretation the illusion, the feeling that even if you aren't, you are. And you might go, Mooch, where are you going with this? It's just an unsettling feeling, and it makes people it's kind of a head game. It's kind of a head
like
game.
A duck, if it quack like a duck, if they walk like a duck, and they shoot like a PC player, man, what it got to be.
That's right. Outstanding point. This is what I'm saying. I think that Don, he says it's what's happening when you win. I mean, that's
the difference. If you're a gamer, you could tell the difference. Like Knox was saying, he know the difference. You can say, "Oh, that's a PC player right there." You could tell the movement. It's different.
Yeah, and the Don said you did read it right. Crap. What do you think? Is that something that, like, even if maybe, let's say you are in a group right now, a lobby, right, where it's cross play is on, you can't toggle it off, and you're just kind of getting like beat, right? You're in your head, you're like, oh, I'm definitely playing 2 or 3 PC guys, right? It's in your head. It's in your mind. Even if they're all controller, we don't know. Nobody knows. Is that something where it's kind of a head game as well? That's all. I think that's a problem.
Well, Gears 4, they allowed you could tell if it was a PC player, but I think Microsoft trying to hide it.
And then
they should bring that back.
But that's definitely going to happen, and it's not going to happen like, it is a subconscious thing with having no option to turn off crossplay. At the end of the day, when you're getting into the game, there's something that's going to hold you back a little bit. If you do know that keyboard and mouse, you get a significant advantage over somebody that's on controller and stuff. As you're playing, the multiplayer, the PvP, you're going to keep it in back of your head that you were never able to turn that off. And when you get into close encounters and you see somebody who like you're all of a sudden you're paying attention to more than what you would normally pay attention to. You're like, yo, look at that guy moving. I think that's a PC guy over there. Like, I'm gonna avoid him and go this way. And like it's gonna kind of bite into your experience if you don't have that option to turn it off if you want to.
Right, and that's kind of how I feel. That's the same thing. It's kind of a head game. Don, I really appreciate you saying that.
Free Jack goes, console players get aim assist, mouse and keyboard does not. Actually, most people turn off aim assist if you're a controller because it can really mess you up. But mouse and keyboard doesn't need aim assist since you literally drop the freaking mouse wherever you want. It's the most accurate thing you can get.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in a Nasher-based game mode, to be honest with you. But it's 100% does matter when it's a mode like the arcade modes where you're picking up long-range weapons and things like that because you will get
people off from a distance.
Yeah. It's a huge advantage, and this is exactly
when people say PC doesn't have an advantage. Just remember, everybody, we've all used the PC in our lives. When did you ever go to click the X in the top right corner and to close a window and miss? Never. Right? Yep. I mean, you aim, you fire, you hit.
I'll bring this up, right? Like, I don't know why Microsoft continues to push something. So this is an article from 2010. I have it saved on my computer. It's a Eurogamer article called "Microsoft Killed PC Xbox Cross-Platform Play Because PC Gamers Were Too Good." Microsoft scrapped plans to allow PC Xbox 360 gamers to play shooters like Gears of War Online because during tests, console players got destroyed every time, according to this person named Rahul Sood, founder of luxury computer designer. He's a CEO, whatever. This project was brought to them many months ago at Microsoft. That was under wraps. The goal was to bridge Xbox gamers with PC gamers so they could play against one another in games like Gears of War. This was all part of their live strategy, and had Microsoft stuck to their guns and made it work, PC gaming might be in a much better position than it is today. Now, this is back in 2010. There was a project that got killed at Microsoft. The project was designed to allow console gamers and PC gamers to interact over a connected environment. Due to this, during development, they brought together the best console gamers to play mediocre PC gamers at the same time. And obviously, the PC gamers, the console players got destroyed every time, so much so that it would be embarrassing to the Xbox team in general had Microsoft launched this initiative. This is why the project was killed. So yeah, that's very interesting to see. And I always bring this up, that they killed this in 2010, but they bring it back. But the reason they killed it in 2010 was because the PC players were beating average PC players were beating the best of the best console players at Gears of War. So that's something that you got to, just kind of, take it for what it's worth. But there's a reason why, these are separate, things. And again, if you're a person, and I think that the reason they have this arcade mode is to bring in more casuals and people that maybe haven't played Gears before, right? Yeah. They're here's a fun time.
Exactly.
But it's like, you can either play ranked, which is all full tryhards, which I can hold my own. So I guess it's not a big deal.
Bring in newcomers and people who haven't played Gears into an arcade match where they have to play against PC players. They are going to hate Gears PvP to like no end. Especially, without having any experience playing Gears to begin with, dude. I think that's probably where you're going with that.
Well, listen, here's the thing. So you're even somebody like me, I don't have the time to put in like 3 hours a day on Gears like I used to. So it's like you hop on, and Gears is a game where I believe you got to warm up a little bit. So it's like you go in there, you either play ranked and get your ass kicked by the tryhards, or you play the arcade and get your ass kicked by the PC players, right? It's like there's not a mode to just sit there and chill. Yeah. It's like I can play Call of Duty and kind of chill. But with Gears of War, it's like there is no chill. It's like get your ass kicked here, get your ass kicked there.
You brought this up and you asked Xbot it. Like Xbot, I got to tell you something. You got to kind of make it more broad. Whatever's happening here for Gears and when they do a crossplay, this is a mirrored image of what we're going to get for Halo.
That's exactly why I am so invested and interested in what they're going to do. Because, like, at the end of the day, if you only had two pillars holding up the Xbox division, one of them would be named Gears, and the other one would be named Halo.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
So they're not going to do something in terms of crossplay over here on Gears and then do something completely different over here on Halo.
Exactly.
There are a lot of things that are going to be very similar.
This is going to be a mirrored event. Absolutely.
Exactly.
But that's alarming, though, Xbot. And I'm sure maybe people in the Halo community, like you were speaking to on Wednesday, they're going to, that are playing hardcore and playing ranked, where they can toggle it off or they don't care. They might not say much, but to keep a casual base in there, an active community, that's important.
That's exactly what Warzone was. What Warzone was this huge kind of like scenario. You had these huge teams of Spartans going after each other. But not only that, you had enemy AI, enemy bosses dropping in. You can, you have a rec level that you're building up to pull out like your special weapons and stuff like that you can use. You can use them on the Spartans on the other team or for the bosses. It was a great kind of like more casual, you could go in and do what you want type of thing. So if you're going to go in there as a casual gamer just to have fun, and then the other side has like PC gamers with sniper rifles, like you're not going to have a good time playing in that scenario. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah. I mean, Triple Cup, let me go to you for a second here. I heard your take on the gear stuff, but do you think this is something that Xbox is just going to kind of manipulate all the way through with every single multiplayer game moving forward? I think what you see happen here is what will happen going forward on everything. And how do you feel about it?
I mean, this situation here is so intense because like you were just saying, it's going to affect us personally as gamers overall. So anytime we can be gaming from here on out, we might have this situation across. It could be like your casual games that you play all the time, or it could be the game that you play most hardcore. Like me, I'm a Madden player. I don't want to play people on a PC. They might have some, stuff like, cheats they to put in where they can't be tackled or don't miss passes. And I got to worry about that. Right. And then if I lose, the first thing I'm gonna holler is, oh, he must have been on the PC. That's why I lost. So I'm never gonna have that feeling like, okay, the person actually beat me because it was a good game and he out, sometimes you lose something, but you take it like a man. But you can't have that feeling no more, because if you're thinking the person with the PC, and if they going in that direction in all games that's multiplayer, I mean, the future is gonna be kind of sad, but they're gonna have to change some things, because I know they're trying to do the DirectX and trying to bring the whole bring it to this new generation. I just hope this new generation can't be a part of that. I'd be too old for it, because I'm an old gamer and they on to this new stuff that they doing. So
it is a cause for concern, because I believe Mike Ibarra way back in the day, I can't remember what show he's on. Maybe it was he was on Larry Herb's SoundCloud show, one of his podcasts that Larry does.
We'll do it right. We're gonna pay.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
remember?
Blah,
He's like, we're gonna do it right. We're aware of the situation. We know it's concerning to a lot of console gamers, so we'll ensure the safest and fairest way of playing moving forward. And now I got to be honest with you, when I heard that, I was like, well, there you go. It's not going to be. Yeah. And if it's going to be an option, it'll be something you have to elect.
That's what everybody told me, right?
But turn off.
When you look at Fortnite, they do it right. Hell, Switch can't play with Xbox and PS4, and that's a good thing, because Switch would be at a huge disadvantage. The frame rate, obviously. Yes. Switch plays with the mobile gamers. If you're on a keyboard and mouse, you automatically get put against PC people, right? Like, that's just how it is. So I believe Microsoft should do the same thing. Why is it that Microsoft can't do that, but these other companies are? And some companies, like, remember PUBG, people used to ask them about crossplay, and they're like, Lord, no. Yeah. We can't mix keyboard and mouse players with controller. It'd be you know what I mean?
Why is that so?
That's just.
Go ahead. Oh, clowns, go.
Yeah, they need the player pool. That's what it is. They need to inflate the numbers with the player pool, so they'll always allow
clowns. But clowns, why do you think that though? Why is the player pool dropping so rapidly for Microsoft that they have to do something so drastic?
They don't care about the console.
I
don't think it's that. It's because the players dropping. I think it's to promote what they're moving for in the future. That's their key demographic right there.
I've said this multiple times before. When I used to play the Xbox 360, there was remember, if you go back, even if you go back and play one of the older Call of Duty,
Call of Duty,
like Black Ops
300,000 people.
Yeah, 300,000. I can remember Black Ops 2 had over 2 million people on it at launch, when that thing launched on Xbox 360, right? Halo, they used to announce we had 1.5 concurrent Halo 3 users this past week. Like, they used to announce it every month on the blog or whatever, right?
Right.
Now, even Gears of War, if you go into, I think, Gears 3, it'll tell you how many people are currently playing. Right? Call of Duty 4, all these games had this.
Yes.
Now that none of them do it, because what you'll notice is, and I say this a lot, people go, well, I have no problem finding a game. Well, good for you. But I'm just saying, like, what I've noticed when I play like a Call of Duty, even the newest one, I'll get matched up against, that ridiculous name. That sounds familiar. That's because I played with them a week ago. You know what I mean? Like, you're starting to see like the same people. I never saw the same people on 360 when we used to play multiplayer. Now it's like you play against the same people over and over again. And it's because the player pool is dropping and Microsoft knows it's dropping. That's why they're forcing this stuff. They want everybody to just play together, and they're hoping that, it's not going to be this big rift in between the quality, but it is, man. Like, I don't want to play against somebody who's using a touchscreen to play Gears of War.
No, absolutely not.
I don't want that. That's just me.
Clowns, what's your take on it, Clowns?
I agree with Crap 100%, and I don't always agree with Crap at all, but this time he's 100% right. The player pool is dropping. Microsoft's trying to inflate those numbers. I mean, it's not as popular as it used to be. Games are a niche, and there's so many diverse games out there nowadays, and they don't have the same player base as, their competitor PS4. So they need to inflate the numbers by using PC to keep these games active. Without it, the lobbies would kind of be dead.
Are you thinking maybe because it's oversaturated? Because if you got so many games,
it's because they don't got quality exclusives. That's what it is. I mean,
I hate to say it, but I gotta agree with you there.
Hold on, who don't have quality exclusives?
Microsoft doesn't have quality exclusives.
Multiplayer, they is king of multiplayer.
He's saying quality
exclusive. I know we know Gears is quality. We know Forza's quality, and we know Halo's quality. We know that
are quality.
That's a given. That's a given. But now, if I do the same thing and say, well, we know Last of Us is quality, we know Uncharted is quality, and we know God of War is quality.
Them single player games. We talk about multiplayer games.
I'm talking about quality games. I'm not talking about any other
multiplayer with computer.
I can play Destiny or Call of Duty or Battlefield or anywhere. Those are the quality multiplayer games.
Hey, the Don brings up a good point real quick. Sorry to interrupt. He says more multiplayer games has been spreading player pool thin, which is true too, but also the lack of let's not pretend that there's as many people on Xbox One as there was on 360.
I want to just kind of shuffle down the chat here. Kevin Life, he just says, you guys help me get through my last 30 minutes. Let the weekend begin. Gears, baby. Let's go. Kev, thanks for that super chat. I appreciate it. Go ahead, guys. Finish your thoughts. I apologize.
Go ahead, Knox.
Knox, go ahead.
Knox.
Yeah.
Knox was praising.
What is he?
What I was saying is if you take out Sony's big three and Microsoft's big three, Sony still got another like big 10, and Microsoft got big zip.
They got Crackdown 3, bro.
We still got Ratchet and Clank. You still got Infamous. You still got Days Gone. You still got Bloodborne. You still got Horizon Zero Dawn. You still got Spider-Man. You still got Detroit. Where's the Sunset over?
I mean, everybody
State of the Case garbage.
He's
garbage. Crackdown is garbage.
State of Decay was the next best thing to The Walking Dead, hands down. If they could have gave us some Walking Dead skins for that game,
that's State of the Crap. State of the crap.
Maybe for you.
Here's the thing, Triple Cup. Look, I think it's easy to say, though, like when people think of a console, they're like, holy shit, I got to get me a Switch because I want to play that new Zelda or that new hotness, or I got to get me a PlayStation. That Last of Us is about to drop. It's like there's these huge like Game of the Year type games that have huge quality, and State of Decay, even though you might have liked it and some people liked it, that is not a quality game. It has a reset button inside the game because they know you're going to get glitched at some point, right? It's just.
I mean, but it's better than Ratchet and Clank because
I don't think it's better than Ratchet and Clank. That game's terrible.
That's your personal opinion.
Yeah.
I like State of Decay. They have a lot. They have a lot of people like State of Decay. Y'all can't front on it. They have a lot of people like.
Yeah, but it's a niche. It's like a small group out of all the gamers that like.
It's not even.
It's all over a million.
It's just a poorly made game. The whole design.
That was my issue, and I respect Triple Cup because Triple Cup, you have no idea how much I love zombie anything. I'm a zombie freak when it comes to it.
Can I just say something real quick? Because
go ahead.
Go with what Knox is saying. Sony baited people with games like God of War and Uncharted 4 to get their system. And now, when it comes to their multiplayer, they're stuck with Call of Duty on PlayStation 4.
If they're going to bait
one at a time, guys. One at a time.
I'm just trying to say,
you're all professionals.
What does that have to do with playing an Xbox game that has Play Anywhere with the PC gamers?
He brings me back up.
Exactly.
That has nothing to do with it, but
that's where the conversation.
The conversation had already swung. The conversation had already swung to the different direction. I don't know where. I don't know when. I just chimed in.
Well, here let me point this out real quick too. Okay, so on Sony's side, and this is this is just the fact of the matter. Sony's single player games are better than the single player games that the third parties are making. That's just a fact. God of War. I mean, you'll get your Red Dead 2s. That's a amazing ass game.
That's the point.
But exactly. I feel you, dude.
That's where the dynamic was.
Yeah.
That's why the pool is dwindling because they don't offer that.
I mean, but look at God of War. God of War, a good single player game. That's like 100% left. Which you got a game like Halo. They got 50% story. Don't forget about Halo have a story.
It's not
just
only,
as well as God of War, and you got multiplayer.
It's not only those great exclusives. This is why guys are leaving Microsoft. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. They no longer give us exclusive content on multi-platform games. They don't do that no more. They no longer solidify second-party exclusive deals, which is what they were known for, which is what they always have brought us. They don't do that anymore. They were never good at first party. They never had good first-party offerings. They buy their second-party offerings like Halo, like Bungie,
Gears of War. Gears with Epic, yeah. I mean, listen, that's the one thing that
so they stopped giving us what they've always.
I just don't like the Chicken Little, man.
Good? No, man, get out.
Go ahead, Triple Cup.
Now I'll just say, the Chicken Little stuff is okay. They bought their companies. PlayStation did the same thing. We talking about PC and multiplayer games, and PlayStation don't have multiplayer games. That's why they're not in this.
Of course they do. Of course they do. They got Destiny. They got Destiny. They got The Division. They got Call of Duty.
Man, we was talking about exclusives. We was talking about exclusive.
Killzone
Ain't all those games are still better on the Xbox. Halo. I mean, you got Call of Duty. It's still better on the Xbox.
But let me say this though, the problem is, like I said, the Xbox 360 generation is over. That was when the Halo and Gears games were top multiplayer games. Now you have so many top multiplayer games. That's the reason why, you know what I mean? You still got Call of Duty and Battlefield, but you've also got Division and Destiny and all these games that are taken away,
Rainbow
Anthem,
Six Siege,
Rainbow Six Siege. You've got the
Destiny best. A compliment?
Look, well, I'm just saying, a lot of people listen.
Top multiplayer game.
A lot of people the top exactly, Dean. Exactly, Knox. The top multiplayer games are third party now.
Yep.
And the top single player games are Sony's and Nintendo's. Yep. So that puts Microsoft in this weird kind of spot where they're not what they used to be in the multiplayer world anymore. And so I get why people go, well, that seems like a double standard, and it kind of is, but just look at what Sony's doing with the single player stuff. They're putting out game. Does anybody have a doubt without even playing it that Last of Us 2 has Game of the Year locked up next year?
Pretty much.
I mean, it's a fucking lock
on Smash.
It's a lockdown, right? It's a lock. We might even see a Death Stranding this year. Imagine if Death Stranding wins this year and Last of Us next year. That's back to back to back Game of the Year winners, baby. That is some incredible things to pull off, right? Especially considering they won against Red Dead and won. Okay, so that tells you a lot about Sony Studios, which Microsoft's Microsoft's games, even in the multiplayer. Look, Gears won't even be in the running for Game of the Year, by the way, guys. I hate to disappoint you, but it'll be in the running for best multiplayer game. But guess what? It will not win. It's going to lose to Call of Duty. I'm just telling you, they don't win those. They don't win those anymore.
But is Call of Duty better than Gears multiplayer?
Oh, fuck yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Get out of here, man. Now I know why.
Last I checked, I'm not forced to play against somebody with a mouse and keyboard in Call of Duty.
Well, here, let me ask you guys this question real quick. Mr. Twister in the chat, he says, "Will the new Call of Duty on Xbox be cross-play? Xbox PC?"
No,
it's supposed to be cross-play everything, though.
I thought it was cross-play between consoles.
It's crossplay between consoles, and I believe they'll probably use input devices or something. I don't know, but
I thought it was crossplay everything. I didn't know there was. I didn't think it was just like consoles only. I thought it was everything.
Well, Mr. Twister sends another super chat out. He says Sony has the best multiplayer games with exclusive content and largest player pool. No point in investing in shitty exclusive multiplayer games. Here's the thing. I want to say something.
He's kind of right about that.
He is, but let me. Triple Cup. It's funny the things that Triple Cup were mentioning and he was fighting for right there. Triple Cup. You reminded me of Mooch in 2014. That was one of my. It really was. That was me. So when you're saying that, I'm like, that's my brother speaking right there because I hear you. I do. I hear you. My thing about it is, though, since 2014, the thing that Crap said that holds a little bit of water is that things like Gears and Halo may not carry the same clout that they did back then as we were leaving last generation going into this.
That now. Wait until Halo Infinite comes out. My goodness.
You've got to stop hanging out with that one Reddit forum of Halo fans. My thing is,
I don't even have Reddit, brother. I don't even have Reddit.
Let's put it this way: whatever Halo Infinite is, do you think it'll be as big as Halo 3?
It's gonna be. Well, all right.
We don't even know anything.
Well, there you go. That's my point. That's my point. Like, I don't know if it'll be as big as Halo 3.
Halo 3, when that came out, that was a kind of like once in a lifetime. It's like getting a number 3 draft pick and end up having Michael Jordan.
Look,
right that just doesn't happen.
I thought, and I still think that Halo Infinite, may be their perfect Game Pass jump off where it can be the perfect AAA. If it's like Destiny, if it's like a living, ongoing game, which is what I thought they were going to do, that's perfect for Game Pass, and that's perfect to make it like a AAA experience where you can sell content outside of Game Pass and still double dip and get dudes either way. You know what I mean? As long as it's quality shit, you're not getting nobody. You're paying for what you for.
Brother,
this is how I feel about the single player games, though. Look, check this out. With these single player games, they should be more than $30 because you play them one time, maybe twice if you want achievements or trophies. I mean, a lot of times once you experience it, you move on to the next thing.
They want to keep you invested with that.
Hey, Triple Cup. A lot of people do that even with games with multiplayer. Look, me and Mooch, we'll play Halo Infinite. We'll play the campaign. That'll probably be 6 to 10 hours, and we'll play the multiplayer for probably less than 20 hours. That's 30 hours total. What bring you back to
Sea of Thieves then? What'll bring you back to Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves. I don't know what can bring me back to Sea of Thieves. Well, you stop playing.
Well, your friends say, "Crap, come play with me." You got extra time, and you like, "Yeah, I got a little time." You playing with friends, they could bring you back to
maybe, but the last time I played that was with Bot and Mooch when we were streaming. But my point is, like, Mooch right now has like 40 some hours in Days Gone. That's a single player only game, and he's not even done. Right. I put 80 hours in. What the hell? Some of these. I put 85 hours into Red Dead 2. Like, to me, that's more than I put in even some multiplayer games. That's a couple days. Even though I like Black Ops 4, I think I only put in 24 hours or something like that on that game. So it's not always exactly true. You know what I mean? Like, I'll play Gears and I'll play the campaign and beat that.
Oh, Red Dead is a Rockstar game, though. You got so many different activities to do.
But I never even touched the multiplayer on that, though, either. You know what I mean?
No, you don't even need.
And they got people with thousands out.
I can't wait for the next GTA. Oh my goodness!
They don't even need. Look, if I'm Rockstar, I don't even come out with the next GTA. Why would you? I think GTA 5.
Well, dude, I'm not thinking about if I'm like the publisher. If I'm the
I hear you. One of these days,
I'm thinking as a gamer, man.
One of these days, I have to play that game. I guess.
Which one? Crap.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
It's great.
You never played Grand Theft Auto 5?
Well, here's the thing. Grand Theft Auto 5. I got it. Somebody got it for me for $360 when it came out. But the Xbox One launched that, and I was all into Xbox One, so I stopped playing Grand Theft Auto 5. Then it came out on the Xbox One, and I got it there, and I never played it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, my thing with Grand Theft Auto, it's a great game, but to me, I think it's much more. It's a much larger scale than even Red Dead. GTA 5 is just stupid massive.
Like while you're going through the story, if you decide you want to like play 18 rounds of golf, you could just like veer off and go do that.
You literally could just bullshit in that world forever.
Yeah. Forever. That's one of the reasons why I can never.
You can really just do that.
That's one of the reasons why I have a problem with it. It's like too much to do. It's too open world.
It's a little too much. It is. It's a lot. I mean, there's people I know.
I know you don't like Assassin's Creed then, because that's the same way. Like on the
ain't nobody got it on flip on Grand Theft Auto. He is to play that still to this day, so they still have a big player booth.
Absolutely, Triple Cup.
And then the casino. Well, I know I ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna wait for you, Mooch.
No, you're good. That, to be honest with you, that's true. That right there in itself, that casino. I've been asking Microsoft for the longest time. Do you guys remember on the 360 era? You guys remember Full House Poker, where you avatar? Yo, that was the shit. I'm telling you,
that was my joint.
Right when I used to get done gaming, like we would be playing like Call of Duty, or you'd be playing Halo, right? And then everyone was like, "Yo, peace, man. Good night." Yo, everyone's like, "Yo, we've been playing this shit for 3-4 hours. Time to take a break." Right? The minute everyone was like going, I was like, "Whoop." My ass went right to Full House Poker, and I sit up there till like 2-3 in the morning, and people at the table be bullshitting, hanging out. People be drinking and just kind of like bullshit, like just sitting at a poker table. And I'm
hardwood spades, hardwood spades.
You know, so when I saw them do this in GTA, I'm like, yo, that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. So I think that's a great thing that they did. I don't. The thing about it, though, again, just like Crap said, anything else like GTA, they didn't just make poker. They didn't just make that. They got everything from one-armed bandits to poker to blackjack. They got everything.
You can put money on the ponies, baby.
Do you pay real world money for it though?
There's a real money option. I heard.
Yeah. No. Well, you can. You
can get your own personal casino.
Well, it's a shark card thing again, man. Like you have your money, your kind of like virtual currency that you go in, and it's $1 per one chip. So it's a 1-to-1 thing when it comes to the money you have in game. But you know the deal. If you're low on funds and you're not hitting on the casino, you can always use real world money, get a shark card, and throw down a couple million into your bank account, and then
get you that shark card, right?
Keep gambling from there.
Master about people gambling in there.
So they literally put a real casino.
They did.
Yes. They really put a virtual casino in a game.
Yeah, they did.
And they're monetizing.
Dude, it's out.
You know what? I've seen it. Hey, you know what? I've seen this, and it's like it reminds me of PlayStation Home. You guys remember PlayStation Home?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. On the PS3, you used to walk around. It was like this surreal kind of thing, and everybody was dancing and doing and playing stuff and spending stupid amounts of money for like clothes and stuff. That's what it reminds me of. Like it reminds me of that. You're just going around gambling and like spending money on stuff in game that literally does nothing.
Shout out to Nuke. Boom, kaboom, he's here. Boom, boom. Go ahead, Triple Cup.
Now I was saying, but like, see, people don't realize they got some other games. This one here, I ain't gonna get too many examples, but like with 2K, you know, you got your VC. They got ways to cash in and got ways to cash out. So they got ways around that. So what GTA did was made a perfect casino where you could take your real world money, get money, as in how Grand Theft Auto been designed. So that's not changing nothing about Grand Theft Auto. And they got every type of casino. And I used to play Red Dead for hours. And I wouldn't play, like Mooch was talking about, I sit at the poker table and I try to choke people out. I sit there for hours. Anytime the poker table open, it took me a week to beat the story because half of the time I was just sitting at different poker tables.
Exactly.
The whole time I loved it. And then it just felt like I was at home because we was really on there gambling, you know, because Grand Theft Auto is the masterpiece. But they, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know what they did with Red Dead or they online. They need to trash that and just go back to focus on Grand Theft.
And I appreciate Triple Cup kind of bringing the GTA thing in there because it allows us to go from Rockstar right into another topic that I want to talk about because Rockstar does have something to do with this. The ugly word crunch. Okay, folks, I know you guys may be a little tired of it, but really, we've got to talk about
Jason Schreier hiding in the bushes again.
Absolutely. He's like that.
Somebody said disgruntled? Disgruntled, what?
He's like, no, I didn't say disgruntled. It rhymed with disgruntled. That's okay. I still want to talk to you. So I think the issue here, now they're going after Naughty Dog. And there's disgruntled ex-employees, okay? Isn't that funny? I think anybody who's an ex-employee anywhere is disgruntled. That's why you're an ex-employee.
It's automatic,
right? It's just
not gonna have anything nice to say. Oh, I love when they fire me.
Excuse me, did you ever work for Naughty Dog? Yes, I got fired. Were you disgruntled? Well, now that you mention it, yeah, of course I was. You know, so I mean, my whole point being here is they got another disgruntled couple of employees that went out there. They've got them saying that they had crunch. So you're telling me, guys, and I'm going to throw this out to the panel. I want you guys to run with it. You're telling me that we're talking about Rockstar that makes GTA 5, which is still in the top, 5 games every month,
How many
consistently.
copies do people have
Right?
worldwide?
Right? It's crazy. It is. It's out. It's mind blowing. Red Dead Redemption 2, which outsold unbelievable numbers too. I think they did like 8 or 11 million in the same time. It took like a week or two, and that was like it's the 360's first one. That was its like total gross. My point being is that now you have Naughty Dog, which Crap has mentioned. The Last of Us 2 is probably going to get game. Like the minute they go gold, they're immediately going to get Game of the Year. We're not even going to play it yet.
Hey, not only that, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Naughty Dog's working on a brand new IP for the PS5.
Of course they are.
Steampunk
Why wouldn't
game.
they
Like,
be?
holy crap. If you weren't already like amped up about it, and this is a thing that I brought up because I did a video about this. Like, that's Sony. That's that's like the best studio right now. Like Naughty Dog, they just are. Yeah. There's no doubt. They're like the best studio. You have your best studio doing Last of Us 2 and a brand new IP, right? Like, that's something you'll never see Xbox do. Like, you're not going to see 343 do something that's not Halo. You're not going to see Coalition do something that's not Gears. Turn 10 is not going to do something that's not Forza. So their biggest and best studios are IP factories. So you're never going to see something like a Naughty Dog branching out to do a steampunk game that sounds pretty damn cool, in my opinion. So that was another kind of thing, like, holy shit, you know, like that sounds pretty incredible to me. Plus, there's this guy in the chat who must be on crack. He said that Sea of Thieves made more money than God of War. God of War, they say, is approaching what, like 15 million. Sea of Thieves had what, 6 million players ate a ham sandwich while on a calculator. So yeah, get back to me when people actually are buying these games. Yeah, like, get out of here, man. That game has no microtransactions yet too. So most people just played it for $1 and then, you know, got off of it or whatever. That's that Slick Willie stuff, man. You guys don't understand. Snake Oil Phil. He does that, man. He's like, our engagement is through the roof. We've got 12 million kaboobles with this on the back end with a Blue Jay. And people are like, holy shit. Like, get out of here, man. Nobody knows what any of that carny talk is.
I mean, I do want to get back to the crunch.
And I like Sea of Thieves, mind you.
But holy shit,
there's no way that game has made the money that God of War has. We're not going to get a sequel to Sea of Thieves. God of War, they're probably deep in a sequel to that already. It's going to be a huge hit.
It's a different world, though. It's just going to grow. We don't need
maybe. I mean, what else can they do to it? You know,
they gotta shut those resources down, man. Just save money. You say
the problem is,
am I in the Twilight Zone?
Hey man, you got kaboobles with Phil Spencer. So how's Xbox One doing? Well, we've got some reverse Blue Jays and some kaboobles back there. So yeah, it's pretty neat, pretty nice, pretty neat. You know,
well, listen, to be honest, to be fair to Triple Cup and to be fair to Crap's point, right? You got no way to measure
how are
it
those
anymore.
Exclusives coming? Pretty neat, pretty nice.
Very good, pretty neat.
You know, I mean, there's no way to measure how Sea of Thieves is actually doing.
Because they won't tell you.
They won't say anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't know. You know, when they say, you know, active users, that's not a clear frame. Like that's not even partial credit on a math test.
Pretty nice. Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, but getting back to the crunch thing, it really kind of bugs me that the media wants to focus in on this crunch, right? And they want to like deliberately go after Naughty Dog and deliberately go after Rockstar. These are the two companies that are, you know, respectively making
the highest quality,
right? Game of the year, highest quality. Like that's what it's. You know what it's called, everybody? It's called hard work
and integrity.
Right. You have pride in what you do. Yep. And at the end of the day, I don't care if you're talking about making a game or you have a paper. Can I point something
out that my boy Colin Moriarty tweeted out yesterday about this, right? And he tweeted this out. He goes, at what point are we going to start differentiating actual labor abuses from people working long hours in a competitive and creative field?
There we go.
Hard work blankets every corner of the industry. If you want a neat 9-to-5 job with strict life work parameters, go get one. Who's stopping you? Right. I'm sorry, but the rest of these wild claims need to be circulated with a bit more scrutiny. It's worth noting that the source story cites anonymous QA contractors who aren't employees and are complaining about working too much in an environment that explicitly tells them not to. 24-hour workdays, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And like the Rockstar 100-hour work weeks that never happened outside of the claim the company's founder made about his own experiences one time, I suspect Maury would probably determined that was a lie. So, you know, I have to agree here because you have these aren't even Naughty Dog employees. These are outside QA contractors, just like with the Black Ops thing. Right. They're not hot. You know what I'm saying? These are QA testers. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. You can get out of there. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't QA testers for the whole Naughty Dog thing, though, right?
That's what this is. No, QA testers, I guess. You know,
I thought they were actual designers because it's just kind of weird that, you know, like maybe a week before this, we hear like a group of Naughty Dog designers are going over to the initiative. And then this stuff pops up. I'm like, well,
listen, dude. Well, you have to keep this in mind. We call that a Tuesday, all right? Like there are some high level people.
When did you show up, man?
But listen. There are some people. But let's face it. A lot of people move on. Look how many people moved on after Halo 4 or 5, dude. Right? Like the guy who made that game left. You know, like a lot of people leave. So according to this, it says, however, according to a dozen people who used to work at Naughty Dog and agreed to speak to COG Connected under the condition of anonymity, the reality of crunch there is somewhat complicated. While several of their sources were critical of how the studio went about crunch, others were more ambivalent or even held positive views about the experience. But they all said the same thing. While crunch wasn't mandated at Naughty Dog, its employees and hired contractors were expected to work long hours. Guess what? Anything you enjoy, movies, how long do you think a movie, like I've seen behind the scenes stuff. They're like, we're wrapping up an 18-hour day.
They did it behind the scenes at the end of Game of Thrones. The week after Game of Thrones ended, they did a behind the scenes. And they showed how people were staying up, getting like 2 hours sleep and doing because they had to shoot at night. And they had a budget and they had a time frame. And they're like, we have to do this. We can't even. They're like, these people over here haven't slept in like a full 24 hours. He's like, we have to do the night scene. It has to be done now. And they have one time to do the explosions. You know, they can't rebuild it because somebody sneezed in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a homework assignment you had in high school, if it's a term paper or something that was a research paper you had in college. I don't care if it's a test you took yesterday or it's something as big as something at Naughty Dog or as bigger as something as Game of Thrones. There's always crunch. There's always last minute work going on and people to get deadlines complete. So you can't sit there and tell me, and nobody can tell me these people. And you know what? The other part is if they were really disgruntled, there's the door. No one's keeping you. Quit. Be like, this is crazy.
They already. Yeah.
And here's the thing. I want to go a step further because, you know, this one really grinds me. This is why when this came up, you guys know this has got to be on the show. Okay. What do we hear from Naughty Dog employees? What did we hear from Corey Balrog? Did you see Corey Balrog when they did the behind the scenes video? At the end, everyone's crying and like, I love you guys, man. I can't believe this is over. Like everyone at the time of their life, according to these documentaries and everything that were going on, right?
So they're playing the Green Day song as we speak.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Time of our lives. My point being, crap, is that you have all these people in these companies saying, this is the best place. I never want to work anywhere else. This has been the experience of a lifetime. And then you got two people who are like, we didn't get invited to the free ice cream night at Naughty Dog. We were disgruntled. We left. Oh, by the way, we're only contractors. It's like, all right, what? Yeah. And they're running with this. And then you hear this, and it puts a real black eye on Naughty Dog and Rockstar and whatever company is going to come down the road next. You know, everybody's on notice now in case somebody didn't get invited to the pizza party.
Yeah.
It's horse shit. So here's my point. So anyone that wants to argue
nonsense,
right?
to be honest with you.
Anybody who wants to argue it with me, then tell me, how is it that Corey Balrog and his team and Neil Druckmann and his team, after they get done, everyone keeps doing these group hugs. They're like, this has been the best place ever to work in my life. And then
I brought it up. If Crunch is getting these 90+ rated meta games, crunch me away, man. I don't care if they all crunch.
Yeah, keep crunching.
Crunch. That's what I'm talking about.
Do. I don't care. And this is my other point.
If doing 100-hour work weeks gets me a Last of Us type game versus 40-hour work week getting me State of Decay 2, man. Get them 100-hour work weeks done, man. Get it done.
And I got news for you. The initiative is now going to be called the Anti-Crunch. Because I got news for you. I have never seen.
Who knows what the hell that team tweets out more pictures.
I've never seen so many people look relaxed in my life. I see people on sandals brochures that look more uptight.
Here we are.
Hey, hold on. Look, y'all got to realize, you know, Instagram and Facebook. When you scrolling through the Instagram, Facebook of anybody, they having a time in their life, and then you see them in real life, they like, what the hell is wrong with your life?
That's true.
they probably busting their ass and probably go sit in front of a camera and with a pretty background, make it look like they doing something like, oh, we chilling, but they really busting their ass.
Well, man, no, man, when you look at the initiative people, they're like, here we are at the beach, here we are with the ice cream truck.
But you see Triple Cup, you follow those guys from the initiative. They're drinking champagne, they're eating caviar at 11 a.m. It's like, come on, man. Like, people are like, well, no wonder they're going over there. I think, listen, I don't know if you guys ever heard this, but when you're in like big corporate, like things like these big companies, these guys are doing very well. Whether they're working for Naughty Dog or they're working for the initiative, these guys are making some decent bank. My point being is, if you look at them, they're getting a lot of senior people going over to the initiative. I think they're like, you know what? We're going to go over there. Microsoft has very little deadlines. Phil doesn't come down here and step on our throats. We don't have any real crucial, like I say, like milestones to hit. So at the end of the day, I'm going to spend my last 3 to 5 years over here chilling in Santa Monica. You know,
most of the time when you're in your last 3 years, you want to make an impact.
Triple Cup, me and you want to do that. I don't know if that's what they want to do.
Mooch, brother, not everybody is a Mooch, all right? Just because they might be treating them better,
it ain't easy.
Doesn't mean that they're going to take advantage of it. Maybe they are going to work harder, you know, and you know, come out with that quality product without having to deal with, you know, somebody in the bushes. Hey, guys, what's going on? How long did you work today? Yeah, how'd you feel about that? All right, come over here. I want to write an article real quick. You know,
right.
It can go both ways, man. It's not.
It can, but come on, listen. Can they put the Dom Perignon down for a minute? Every time I see someone with the initiative, they're drinking some kind of fancy champagne.
Good, man. Microsoft.
Hey, so what kind of pictures you want them taking? Them put on the computer, sweating?
I want to see people working, Triple Cup.
Actually, I do want to see that, to be honest with you.
I want to see them, but I don't want to see them working.
Yo, Triple Cup.
I don't want to see them eating escargot.
See them shackled to their computer desks. All right, raggedy shirt.
Don't you want to see? Listen, when you see people hard working on Ford or Chevy, you see them. They're on the line. They're working their ass off, and they even tell you they're like, "I'm working my ass off." I don't
care about the Chevy line. All I care about is when they show that new Corvette, brother. That's pretty much it.
You say that, but I like to see the hard-working men and women working on the vehicles and on the games and see their blood, sweat, and tears go into it. And every time I see the initiative, it seems like they're having a sandwich. The one guy was like, he's like, oh, man, I've been on vacation for 2 weeks. I came back. I saw they hired some people. It's like, these are the things I'm seeing from the initiative. And it's like,
sure, I'd want to work there, too. Good
me too. Sign me up. Triple Cup. Let's go.
Hey, they have mandated selfie. They have mandated selfie times, right, Mooch? Man. Hey, here's Mooch and Crap taking selfies. Here we are with our think tank. That's basically where you just sit down and reflect. Yeah. So you don't have to get too stressed.
Yes. They have like sleep chambers between 1 and 3.
They have different classes. You can, you take different breathing techniques and things like,
maybe it's just a different yoga mentality over here, man. Like, maybe Knox, you're a New Yorker. Xbot, I'm going to throw you in there too, even though you're in Connecticut, you're East Coast. Clowns, I'm going to go ahead. I've always put you in New York, even though you moved down Florida.
He's the most Southern New Yorker there.
He really is.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry I had to mute my mic before. There was a lot of...
around here, man, if you come back 5 minutes late from lunch, people are like, where the hell you been? You know what I mean? Meanwhile, these guys are 2 hours. They got those sandals on. They're having a little Dom P. Come on, man. Take a picture of you coding something. Pretend.
Well, if they come out to Florida, they can go golfing.
Shit, at least a picture of you looking at a freaking computer monitor. Just at least stare at the monitor.
I don't care.
Typing.
And my whole point is now these guys have been going for a while. I believe they've got a little over a year now over at the Initiative Studios since they picked up Gallagher, right? Is it a year or are we flirting with almost
about 2? A year?
Yeah,
about a year.
About a year.
About a year. So they're still picking people up. But one of the things I said before E3 was I wasn't looking for gameplay. I'm trying to be realistic here. Give us a title. Do a screenshot.
I've been kind of like, I like live wires. Me and him have been going back a little bit all day.
Live were great today.
But it's like, he's like, oh, well, because I'm like, I made it jokingly. I'm like, hey, forget storming Area 51 for aliens. Something more elusive is going to Redmond and storming it for exclusives, right? A joke, like I do. And, and Livewires was like, yeah, let's get him to announce everything, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, it's been 4.5 years since we've gotten anything new announced. Listen, I showed him the Metroid 4 announcement, the Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 announcement. It's now in development. It's a freaking postcard saying it's now in development. is that too much to do? Like the Switch literally came out 2 years ago with Breath of the Wild as a launch title, and they've already announced a sequel.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how is it that they can do that? And Microsoft, knowing damn well, because Phil Spencer today is selling snake oil, says, hey, we know we suck with our first party, but we're going to be better, I promise.
I'm pretty
right?
sure
Ironically.
you didn't quote that. Yeah.
Well, no, I hold on. Here's what he said. Xbox has to mean quality games. We've got work to do there. Our first party output hasn't been the best. So basically, he's saying that they've stunk it up. And despite the fact that you've had people damage controlling,
crap, I'm so glad that you're my friend, brother.
I know, right? So they have people. So they've had, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying, right? He's basically admitting that the last 3+ years have stunk. So if you know they stink, give us a teaser of something. God, you know
he doesn't believe in that though. And crap again. This is one of the things I'm in.
He's going to believe in not selling any content.
He doesn't believe in that. Guys gotta stop.
Like, dude, you got to tease, you know, that investment in the platform has like 2-3 years down the line. There's going to be things that are coming out that you're going to want to get. You know,
how are you going to know if he's not announcing anything?
That's what I said. He's got to change that dynamic of you know, showing people that there is a future.
We've been saying this for a while now, and he hears it.
Can somebody get me into a party chat with Phil Spencer, please?
E3 to E3.
Man,
that's what Free Jack says.
Go ahead, Triple Cup.
The Blitz marketing is the truth, because the best time to promote something is when it's about to come out. If you talk about something too early, you get burnt out on. There's a lot of games that I heard so much about. By the time it come out, you play it, you lose excitement for it.
You know what?
Triple Cup.
Tell God of War that.
Triple Cup, meet me in the middle. Yeah, but meet me in the middle here for a second. I agree with what you're saying. I really do. I actually, I started following. I'll give you an example where Triple Cup's right. I started following the Borderlands, or everybody that does anything on Borderlands. I started following once they announced Borderlands 3. And man, my timeline is just kind of like, and I love Borderlands, but it's just Borderlands out. So I agree with Triple Cup. But there's a fine line between too much and nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a totally different situation. Look, people that bring up
nothing.
People that, I'll be honest, right? And this is, you'll never find a more honest take than this. People that bitch about media bias still and all this stuff. You know what would have fixed media bias and people roasting Xbox? Fucking amazing games. You got amazing games. People stop bitching. PS3 totally flubbed their launch. You know what helped fix the PS3? Amazing fucking games. People forgot all about it because they were putting out great exclusive. Microsoft hasn't done it. If Microsoft, I see people in the chat, oh, Sony and Nintendo can get away with it, but Xbox get lambasted. When Sony and Nintendo announce something 3 or 4 years out, those games come out, they're fucking fire. When Microsoft announces stuff 5 years out, we get Crackdown 3. Like, there's a huge difference there. I'm sorry, but there is. You know, that's just how it is. The quality, the quality. I mean,
when Sony do 9 years, we get I forgot the name of that little furry rat game.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Last Guardian.
Yeah, no, Last Guardian. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I just my
hey, that game still got an 83 Metacritic.
Listen, guys, it kind of comes down to this though. It's a matter of, take Crackdown 3 for example, right? And I beat that game. It was #fun. It was a fun game. But my point being about it is it wasn't great, right? So my whole thing with it is this. You've got nobody in the Xbox staff that's going there and being a boss. Nobody's being a boss. Nobody's putting their finger on the pulse or putting their foot on top of somebody, being like, you got to do this, man. You have to get this done. Like, everybody's just like, oh, like even Phil. Phil did numerous cameos where he's like, saw the Crackdown crew, saw the game. It looks great. He said that so many times.
Yeah.
While he probably saw the campaign, and the campaign was good, man. I don't care what anybody
Xbox, real nice try. When you're the head of Xbox, you see the whole game.
He saw it in high dynamic range.
Yeah.
With the 4K, and it was like,
he watched it with a Pirates patch on.
Hey, you want to know what looks good? Like the difference between a Borderlands 2 and a Borderlands 3. Like, that's a generational good. Like, that's cell shaded as well. Like, Microsoft could have done much better. The game didn't play like.
I played all 3 Crackdowns, and
I know.
I can tell you that graphically, Crackdown 3 is superior to the other.
Of course it is.
It should be. Like, Crackdown 1 came out in 2007.
Nobody's debating that.
Crackdown 1 came out in 2007. This one came out in 2019, but it doesn't look like a 12-year gap in tech. You know what I'm saying? Like they did, and the game still plays kind of old and was really monotonous with what you're doing. And it just like for one thing is like that you could tell they were so scattered with what they were doing, right? Like, hey, they brought in Terry Crews. They brought in Terry Crews, but you could tell that was like a last minute thing.
Guys, Crackdown 3 # underrated. Thank you.
Well, it's a 59. I would hope so.
Underrated. I don't care about that.
I would hope so. I would hope so. All I'm saying is there's a like when a game that gets announced from Sony and it's 4 years out, or Nintendo and it's 4 years out, when those games come out, they're going to be fire. When a game gets announced 3 years out, well, Microsoft doesn't do it. They don't even announce shit a year out.
Guys,
and I saw somebody bring up Red Dead or State of Decay 2. Another reason why that game was shit was because they promised AAA. Like you can still find those tweets. AAA all the way, right? That's a tweet. AAA all the way.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go in on it, go all in on that game as well. And dude, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? And they came out with a $30 game.
That's all we've been getting. Like Crackdown 3 should have been a $30. They should have canceled that multiplayer. Since it's dead already, they should have just canceled that shit.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have. Yeah, you're better off getting rid of something than putting it out. The biggest thing that
killed that multiplayer was people not being able to squad up and go in. That was the biggest thing, and it took way too long for them to actually put that in the game. That right there.
Even when I saw test demos of them playing it and it was working because it was under a controlled environment, it still looked really casual and goofy.
When we did the beta test here. And we found a way to get our friends in without kind of like, without, bringing them into the game, but we got them all in and stuff like that. We had an absolute blast with that multiplayer.
If you were ever a game reviewer, everything would just have like 5 stars. Like, I don't think you ever give anything a bad rating. Ever.
Dear God would get like 2 stars.
Okay. and Mooch and Crap Take Manhattan, that game will also get a star and a half.
I'm still waiting for my review copy.
I know it's in the mail.
All right.
I'm old school. We don't have any digital copies. So hold on a second. I do want to talk about Control. So Control is gone gold. The game launches at the end of August, and there's word that apparently, they're gonna have some their exclusive content on the PS4. And, now there's also rumblings of, I don't think Sony's going to grab Remedy personally, but it is an obtainable company.
It makes no sense. I think the mega thing that they're going to announce is, is Insomniac. I think they're going to end up getting Insomniac here before too long, because I think they are positioning themselves and they're investing more into their own studios as well. Like they have this other San Diego studio supposedly keeping the Uncharted franchise alive, where they got some ex-Naughty Dog working it, maybe Naughty Dog overseeing it as well. Okay. So I mean that franchise will continue on even if it's not made directly by Naughty Dog. Okay. But which I think is cool, because if you think about it, and maybe some of you guys have a Vita, there's a Uncharted game made by Sony Bend that's really, really good. It's super good. So that proves that you can make a Naughty Dog game or an Uncharted with some input from Naughty Dog and still have it be pretty good. So I think that's pretty cool, and also, like I said, Naughty Dog's moving on to a new IP.
I don't see Insomniac getting bought. Crap. First of all, the number is going to be astronomical. Number 2,
well,
Ted Price loves his independence.
He does, Sony's tried it before, but there's rumors.
He doesn't want to be forced to do it.
There's rumors floating around for this, right? Like, think about it. They already work so closely with Sony anyway. They're obviously going to make Spider-Man 2. They make Ratchet and Clank. Supposedly they might be working on another one of those. They work so well with Sony. I don't see why they wouldn't want to continue that. Because
there's a difference between working well with a company and taking orders from a company.
Well, the thing is, Sony doesn't really order their companies to do stuff. Like, if I were Sony, I'd order Naughty Dog to make more Last of Us and Uncharted. But they're not going to do that.
Sony might not be ordering them to do that. But when it comes down, I like what Ted Price is saying here. He's like,
making the work.
We already work well with them, and we're independent. So
right,
money talks.
That's true.
Well, they just made. You just called Spider-Man the number 1 superhero game of all time over multiplats and stuff like that. I think our buddy Mr. Price has a little leverage here to be like, you know what? Yeah,
I think Xbox fans
still work on your.
I think Xbox fans are thinking a lot like you, Xbot. For the main fact is they would hate to see it because if Sony does somehow manage to get Insomniac,
dude, if you do that, man, my hopes and dreams of one day there being a Sunset Overdrive 2.
You'll still have those hopes and dreams, my friend. They'll just be on PlayStation.
Yeah, because actually, Sunset Overdrive, that IP is.
We're never going to see a Sunset Overdrive on Xbox, just like we were never going to get an Alan Wake 2. Like your hopes lay with PlayStation, my friend. It's the greatness awaits,
brother. When Alan Wake went into
Alan Wank.
Yeah, that should be everybody.
That must be one of those things I watched on a channel late night.
That's one of those movies you can't watch.
Alan Wake on at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
When Alan Wake went backwards compatible, all right, I never played it on the 360, so I grabbed it and I tried to get through it, on the Xbox One, and I played it. I'm like, all right, I'm mildly interested in the story, but at the end of the day, I got maybe close to halfway through. And I just stopped. I just stopped. So I feel bad for like the Alan Wake fans out there.
Yeah.
Who are hoping for that. But for me, myself personally, I'm like, meh.
That game was blah to me too.
I liked it though. It was one of my favorites. I have the collector's edition still.
Dude, you have the collector's edition of everything.
I still haven't played Alan Wake. That's why whenever it comes up, I give it respect because it just seems like it deserves respect.
But yeah, because when everybody saw Blair Witch, Mooch, everybody saw that Blair Witch joint.
Yeah, they thought it was.
They thought it was Alan Wake.
Alan Wake too.
Even I was intrigued. I was like, oh shit! I know.
Yeah, you heard that game. I was like, oh shit, Alan Wake 2?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, but this looks alright though.
Now, when they gave us Alan Wake, did they make it a 4K? Is it 4K assets with the Alan Wake we got in the back compat?
I think so. Yeah,
I do think so as well. I might go back and try that. I mean, that's not a very long game, I don't believe, right? Crap.
I think it took me 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike. All right, I was gonna say 12
I'll
to 15.
Mooch, it's probably longer than your interest in the game.
I loved it, man. I thought it had great music, great story, great character. I mean, I really enjoyed it. So I even liked American Nightmare.
Love Detroit, so I can see where you're coming from.
Well, Detroit was amazing. That was like that was one of probably the best narrative I've ever seen in a game.
Xbox, do you have a Xbox? Do you have a PS4 in your house?
Not anymore. I sold it after Spider-Man.
You should have kept it.
I played until dawn. I got through.
They're very different.
I beat that interactive.
Until Dawn is very much a lot like how you describe what you don't like about those. And I get that. I liked Until Dawn after I played it, but I get what you're saying.
Like,
Detroit is much. There's more. It's more involved than Until Dawn.
The best thing I could come out with it was a cool experience.
Right.
If I had to rate it as a game, though, it would have rated pretty low. Like the experience would have rated fairly high. And I don't know if that makes sense to a lot of people.
You don't like the Telltale games either, then, right? Like
no, not at all.
Yeah, that to me, those games were dope, especially that first season of Walking Dead, the Batman joint.
Clementine.
Yeah. Clementine.
Any game that you can play and get into where you have one hand free for your vape mod, I mean, you're gonna get into that, man.
You're not gonna be playing it very well.
Hey, I gotta tell you, I love the Tales from the Borderlands was the funniest, most so funny. That game is.
I have both of those. I've gotten that off of PS Plus and Games with Gold. Triple Cup, do you have a PlayStation 4?
Nope.
Okay, you don't. I was going to ask you a few days because I was wondering if I wanted to get your opinion on the whole Detroit thing, but if you haven't played it yet, that was a game they gave away this month. It's more than your. It's if you enjoyed the adventures you had with Clementine and that it's like that. There's a little bit more to do. The one that Xbox keeps referring to all the time, Until Dawn, that's a little bit more of a linear shot.
I mean, but see, with me, Mooch, the thing about it is with a game like Detroit and a game like, let's say, Telltales or the Batman is. Yes. I'm playing this interactive game about characters I know. I don't know who you are, so why should I, invest besides for somebody saying it's a good game?
Because the story might be compelling.
Yeah, the story might be good, but if you don't, sometimes my bias is like Wolf Among Us. I know everybody say they love Wolf Among Us. I just overlooked it because I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I'm right there. I'm right there.
They're based off the Fables series of comics, which were like like a darker take on like Fables. You know what I mean?
That
was dope,
Three
though.
Little Pigs and stuff like that.
It was dope, though. The Wolf Among Us.
Oh, okay.
They had like strip clubs, pigs drinking in bars.
Like the Little Mermaid was a whore or something. I don't
know. Like Once Upon a Time, a TV
sort
show?
of like that, but like X-rated, like R-rated, super R-rated. Like you're Big B Wolf. He's the big bad wolf, but he's disguised as a guy who's like a detective. Snow White. He ends up like he hits on her and stuff like that. I don't know. So it's it's a really good game. Like I love those games. Even the Minecraft story mode, which you can't even buy anymore. I really enjoyed that too. The Batman series that they did. A lot of fun, man. Those are Game of Thrones. I beat that too. Like there was really good. Those are good games to play when you just want to chill for a little bit, complete a couple chapters and relax. That's when I would go to those games. Like I feel like those are really solid games for that.
Dude, when I want to lay back and chill, I got the new Doom games on my Xbox.
Oh, Xbox! Are you kidding me? When I play Doom, man, I get all amped up. I am all amped up. When I played that last Doom, man, I'm serious. I was fired up. That's the last. I could not go to sleep after I got done playing Doom. I was like, I need some time.
The new Dooms, hell yeah, but like the older ones, now that they re-released it, I told you when we were off air, man, I was looking at Doom 2, and I was about to pull the trigger, and I'm like, hold on, I gotta go to Crossfire. Like, I did buy Doom 3 though.
I kind of want to make an alarm clock for you that says that same thing. Oh shit!
I gotta go
for Crossfire. That being said, guys, I do want to do this real quick before we do our outros. I did put it in the title, and I try to do as much as possible when I put it there. The Joy-Con fix. There was a lot of people saying that there was a drift issue. Finally, a lawsuit was placed on Nintendo for their Joy-Con issue. People were going back and forth a million times, returning them and buying new ones. People are putting out $50-$60 a pop every couple of months. Finally, Nintendo has settled. I believe it didn't even get to court. I think they're going to go ahead and do that. So if anyone has having problems with their Joy-Cons, check it out on Nintendo's site. I think they're eventually going to start letting you ship them back in. Doesn't matter when you got them. Could have got it on Switch's first day till yesterday. You can send them in, and they're going to send you. I don't think they're sending you new ones. I hear it's going to be refurbished, but that's an us problem. Shout out to Stick Figure in the chat. Always good to see him here. Guys, outstanding chat tonight. Thank you guys all for the super chat. We've had an outstanding panel. I can't believe the 2 hours kind of flew by that quick, especially the last hour.
I was trying to give you a segue, and it's like, well, it's 9 o'clock already. I'm like, oh, man.
I know. There's so much we didn't even get to in the topics, but let me go in reverse order. I want to say thank you so much to Triple Cup Chuck. Me and Triple Cup, we talk all the time. Triple Cup is a comic book genius. The man knows everything about it. He's got podcasts. His channel is dedicated to comics and gaming. So Triple Cup, thanks for being here, man, and let everybody know where they can find you.
Man, appreciate you for having me out here, man. Appreciate for everybody on the panel. You know what I'm saying? I know that I was getting banged up because, you know what I'm saying, I just feel different about gaming. I feel
okay.
A little bit different. I feel a little bit
used to it. I am.
Yeah. Once you start taking them licks so much, you'll start getting them too. It's fun. I enjoy it myself, man. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. I'm gonna do a double shift. I'm gonna go hop straight over to GRG. I'm gonna get extra pumped up. I'm gonna go, you know what I'm saying, start flexing some muscles. And then when y'all got some time, go check out the Heroic Vibration podcast, the one Mooch was just telling you about. I was saying is like, you know what I'm saying, I took inspiration from like Mooch on podcast, like crap, like X-Bite, like GRG who I'm gonna go to, and I kind of like insinuated that into like a Marvel and DC talk, and I do a little sprinkle of video games. So if you don't believe me, come check it out, find out for yourself.
That's a good show. Triple Cup, I'm going to take you up on those offers you give me. You let me know that next time I'm going to come on the show, man. I want to talk about that. I got to get schooled on comics. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's a Captain America special.
Thank you. I thank you. He already knows. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then I've got my buddy Noximus here. Nox, who is a dedicated gamer. Man's got heart and soul into all the podcasts that he does. And, you know, you guys don't know this, but this man does podcasts, and then he goes and works 12 hours making sure the city is safe. So let me just say this much. Nox, thanks for being here, buddy. Let people know where they can find you.
Man, you already know Mooch, bro. Thanks for having me, brother. Yeah, man, right here on YouTube and Nox We Trust. Xbox Nation on Wednesdays. Next podcast on Saturdays. And y'all already know, man, at the Nox on Twitter and all that good shit.
Awesome, Nox. Thank you so much.
I'll be watching some Alan Wake tonight, guys.
Alan Wake. Somebody's better stream some Alan Wake.
That's that Skinner Max.
It is, man. Alan Wake.
And then shout out to Clowns down in Florida. Clowns, I know you guys are doing 4 Guys with Quarters on Mondays. It's great. I love it when you and Assassin are streaming. Let people know where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, man. 4 Guys with Quarters every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Just look for 4 Guys with Quarters. It's like everywhere.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Always good to have you. And then I've got Xbot448, who was not nearly put to the coals as much as he's been the past 2 weeks. Xbot, always great to have you here. Love your enthusiasm in gaming. And I know you got a big show tomorrow. Let people know about it.
Yeah, definitely. First off, shout out to Triple Cup Chuck one more time.
Absolutely.
Because he's here. He took some of the bullet shots in the shoulder and in the arm and stuff like that tonight. So he was my partner.
Triple Cup's a veteran. He knows what he's doing.
Definitely. But guys, definitely check out the next podcast on my channel every Saturday, 7 p.m. If you haven't seen it before, it definitely has production value. You have something to watch while you're listening about the gaming news, and you can vote for who had the best gameplay after the show right over on Twitter. So it's definitely something you wanna check out. Go to my channel and hit that subscribe button, and we'll let you know when it goes live.
Awesome stuff, Xbot. Definitely do that. And then last but certainly not least, the one, the only, he's going to be joining me on MNC noon on Sunday on the Mooch 78 channel. Crap Gamer Crap, where can people find you and your harmonica?
Crap Gamer Reviews. We'll see you there.
That's awesome, buddy. And let me just tell everybody this much. I did not win the Larry Herb free Friday contest showing at all. So if anybody wants to hook Mooch up with any kind of Wolfenstein game,
still alive, man.
let him know. Let him know. Hit me up on DM. Let me know what's going on, guys. Let's check it out. And we'll be twitch.tv this weekend as well. The Mooch 78. We'll see you next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Peace. Good night. Enjoy the weekend.
Later.
Peace.